So we just do some real talk here.
Yeah.
Um, I think women have a hard plight, and this is why. We as women, we have to be your friend. We have to be mothers. We have to be caretakers. We have all these roles. And our roles, women roles are not quite defined as a man role is.
Okay.
Okay, a man role is like
Go to work
go to work, head of the household, security provider,
and be a lover.
and be a lover.
Mm-hmm.
Our roles are so diverse and so well spread
So vice versa.
that it's almost hard for us to know, okay, what is I'm supposed to do today
Right.
for you?
Mm-hmm.
That all being said, we neglect ourselves, knowing that ourself is what keeps us going.
Yeah.
And if you're not giving us what we need, not because you don't want to, but maybe because you don't know how or you don't know what to give us, and we're not giving us what we need, then we fall short.
See, I can accept some of that, but the whole idea about roles, and when they don't necessarily have to be typecasted roles,
Sure.
right? You talk about in a relationship, it's all right for the team to define what their roles are.
Mm-hmm.
Now, so, I don't think we can deny that men are wired one way, women are wired another,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just like, not to say that women don't hunt, but like, for example, men get in the mindset to hunt, they shoot out the fact that this buck might have a family,
Right.
know, go out and kill it, and one might be, oh, well, what about Bambi?
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
all the little,
Mm-hmm.
baby deer that don't have no daddy. We don't care.
Uh-huh.
He got to go, right? So the fact that folks play a certain role let's say, in a relationship, for me, that's not problematic. I think what happens is, in so many instances, to your point, we do forget about ourselves. In other words, there ought to be, certain kinds of boundaries. I mean, you got to be, Janetta as much as you got to be the kid's mom.
Right.
Or so-and-so's, wife. And there's a part of me where I got to nurture Chris
Mm-hmm.
in order to even, quite frankly, be a good husband.
Right.
You
Right.
know what I'm saying? And I think sometimes, that can get lost, that we can kind of give so much, but particularly in a marriage relationship, and this is what I talk about all the time, when we talk about, like, loving,
Mm-hmm.
it's other focused,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's other focused. And so we end up having a deficiency in the love category, if you will, when the love that we're doling out is not being reciprocated.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So like in a marriage relationship, if I'm working to love my wife,
Mm-hmm.
and she's working to love me back,
Mm-hmm.
right? Then theoretically there's no lack.
Right.
And what happens is when we start feeling lack, we start holding back.
Mm-hmm.
So what happens is, instead of giving sacrificially, we give a little and hold something back, and then before you know it, it's like a real mess. And I don't, you know what? Yeah, I think it is. It really is difficult for, women, because you guys are so. It seems, at least in my opinion, so easily can slip into that nurture or caregiving role.
Right.
Right. Well, we'd be like, look, I'm gonna give you 2 days. After that, man, we're gonna have to find somebody else to do it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
so, I find it, interesting that, like, in Ephesians, Paul, tells women that
Mm-hmm.
primarily they need to focus on respecting their husband.
Mm-hmm.
But he tells guys that they need to love their wives.
Mm-hmm.
Because I really don't think those two things come naturally to us.
Well, I think,
You know what I'm saying?
I truly believe that, because with women, we are wanting love and affection.
Mm.
We want to feel like you really need us.
Mm-hmm.
You want us there.
Right.
You want us there. You need us there.
That that's key.
Yeah.
Cause see, sometimes I think people misunderstand the difference between needing and wanting. You know what I'm saying? Cause quite frankly, it's gonna sound kind of crass. There's a difference between needing my wife and wanting her. In other words, if my wife wasn't there, I'd eat.
Yeah.
I get my clothes washed. You know what I'm saying? If we talking about roles and stereotypes, whatever. I get that stuff done. But I want her. And if I want her, that should influence how it is that I treat her. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
It should affect, so I think you're right. I mean, you saying something now.
Yeah.
Because I think in a lot, I think sometimes that is a kind of gray area. Folks want to feel needed and wanted. But if I had to vote, I think I'd be satisfied feeling wanted.
Yeah, because men have egos, but women have egos too. Okay, and our egos is a little bit where we want to know at the end of the day, even though we know intelligently, we know you can do without us.
Yeah.
But we want to know at the end of the day, you can't do without us.
Yeah.
You need us to be right there. You want us to be right there next to you.
Right.
That brings you joy. And when if a man can sit and tell a woman, I don't need you, I don't want you, that will break her spirit. That will break her down in more ways than anything. Because we, as women, we are emotional creatures.
Go ahead.
And we are connected to you emotionally, and we will give you everything we have, and we will go to the ends of the earth for you. Okay, because we're emotional. You can treat us, when you look at women that's been abused and battered, and you wonder why they're still there, they're emotionally connected to that man.
Yeah.
That's why they're still there. Their mind is saying, you don't need to be here. But their heart is saying, I love this man, and I'm going to help him through this. Even though he's beating me down, I'm going to help him through this.
Now, let me ask you this. How does that logic change when it comes in a non-marital relationship? Because this kind of goes back to what we were talking about earlier. Because if you getting exploited, right? He only here because he's trying to get all the goodie bags, right? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
So how does that turn? Because, I got a couple things running into my mind right now.
Okay.
But how does that cut?
Because for women that know they're being exploited, they have been beat down so much where just a little bit of something is better than nothing. Just a little touch, just a little saying, baby, I love you, when you know that man can't love you, is better than nothing for them. So again, it goes back to our heart. Our heart overrules our mind as females. It overrules our mind. And you can see that man doing something foul.
Yeah.
But he can turn around and say, baby, I love you. I want to be with you. And you don't forgot all the foul stuff he's been doing over the years from that one statement. And you know he's not no good. Your girlfriends are telling you, everybody's telling you that man's not no good. But you love him.
Man, you know what, Janetta? I'm about to feel a Holy Ghost come here. Because you know what? I hate to, let me just throw this in here. Because ain't that what God does with us?
Yeah. He loves us. He loves us to a fault. And women love men to a fault.
Well, let me ask you this. Because here's the problem that I guess a conundrum for me. When I listen to you talking, we talk a lot about this stuff, or things like this, relationships and junk like that. Why is it that the good brother can keep the good woman? In other words, what I'm saying is, we always talking about, oh, so-and-so a dog, blah, 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 but yeah, he got women everywhere.